Hello, are we live? I need to wait a minute for everyone to catch up. Can people in chat let me know when it's live? If people can just pop up when it is actually live, that'd be great. Are we live yet? Yay! Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody to the live, my first live ever thing on this channel. I did promise I would do some Q&As live. Also, let me know if I'm loud enough and not laggy and all that sort of stuff. Am I loud enough, everyone in chat? Hi Mark, hi Dean, hi Schwartzy, hi Seb, Sinistral. Mark Elliott's on, Foxy's on, Leon's on. Everyone's joining in. Good times. Good times. Gareth's in. Hello. Am I loud enough? Awesome. Great. Cool. Okay, let's crack on. What am I going to vape on while doing this mad Q&A? I'm going to vape on this. This is the e-leaf Tria with the Coil Master RDT-A on top, big old thing. And I'm going to vape on this, the Vape Boreas V2 and the new RX 2700 thing. Which is, yeah, a brand new version of the Wismec things, but with 2 big batteries. Disclaimer right now, I'm home alone with 2 children. So if one of them wakes up, I will just dash off. You'll all just have to sit here in silence while I put the dummy back in, roll them over and come back. Hopefully that won't happen, but it can happen and it does happen. So we'll see. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. If you have a question of any nature, ideally vaping, but of any nature, put it in chat and I'll try my best to answer it. I have a question from the previous chat, Q&A #2. So I'll do that one first. Earl Grey T-Pain says, what did you do with all the old soundproofing? If you found, okay, what did I do with all the old soundproofing? Let's not get into the other bit. Okay, so I just basically, as you can now see, usually can't see on camera, but I actually just redistributed it around the room. So yeah, so I moved this corner so it was just as it is, and then I just put it all around the room. It's a really small room, so it's going to echo if I don't use it. So I just moved it all around the room. It's still wonky. It's still skew if. Yeah, the whole house hasn't got subsidence or anything like that. I'm not very good at anything DIY-ish. So that is what happened with that. It's a little bit cloudy in here because I've been vaping. I'm going to open the window. I live really close to a church and there's church bells on. And they were really loud. I didn't want you to hear that. But now we can have the window open. It sounds like the bell ringers have stopped for a cup of tea. So good times. Yeah, so soundproofing, I just moved it around the room. Basically, so I've already answered 2 questions. Why is it so foggy? and what did I do with the soundproofing? Has he been putting Vaseline on the lens? Let's clean the lens. Let's clean the lens. That was Schwartzy, the beautiful Schwartzy. If you're ever really, really bored, is that better or worse? If you're ever really, really bored, go to vapingbiker.co.uk and read some of the reviews, because they are written by Schwartzy. Yeah. Yes, so that's it. That's good. Okay, we've got any other questions live, or do I need to go to the thing? Johan says, why are you such a nice bloke? Not like the other reviews I have seen. Laughy face. It's an act. It's just an act. If I do more of these live things, you will see I'm not very nice at all. My mask will slip off and I'll suddenly start insulting people and being offensive. I did get a question in the previous vaping Q&A about battery safety. I'm going to simplify it a lot. Can you hear the church bells? Let me know in chat. Can you hear those church bells? Are they annoying? Right, I'll shut the window again then. Oh, you guys can't agree whether you can hear the bells. Fine. Schwartzy says it's just God, ignore him. Right. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, battery safety. So I've got a question on battery safety. Right, I'm going to simplify it. Obviously, there's a lot to learn. Do your research, especially if you're going to start doing your own builds, your own coils, and all that stuff. My simple advice is my recommended batteries that I would use all day, all night, are Samsung 25Rs. If you use those and you don't build below crazy amounts, that will be a perfectly acceptable battery. Samsung 25R, what you want is a high continuous amp rating. As long as you use that, you're going to be good. There are good batteries and bad batteries, refreshed, people like that. But Samsung 25Rs are my recommended batteries. And if you just use those, you know, and then learn the other stuff, you'll be safe for now. Daily Walker says, how's Joe Cloudy? He's fantastic. You can still follow him on Instagram. He's still doing his thing. He's not... for those that don't know, I used to do a podcast with Joe Cloudy. It was called the Let's Vape podcast, and it's still available on SoundCloud if you want to go back and have a listen to that. It was a really good thing. Cloudy's still a good friend. But he stopped kind of being a hobbyist vapor. That was the thinking behind that. And when he stopped being a hobbyist vapor, the podcast didn't really work. He wasn't interested in the things we were talking about, so it became a bit false. And so the podcast sort of naturally reached a conclusion. Didn't want to do it with anyone else because we were so in sync. So it just petered out. He's really into his fitness now. He's lost about 150 pounds of weight. He's really into his fitness, and I think he's going to have a career change and be a personal trainer, I believe. I think he's doing his exams right now. So there we go. That is that. The podcast, I don't know if I'll ever do one again or not. I really want to, though. I really like the format, and it was amazing. Like, the feedback from it was amazing. Each episode got about 2,000 listeners in its first week, and then just continued to get listeners. People still drop on it now. It's crazy. So yeah. Okay. The bells. Oh, the church bells are annoying. Right. Cool. Okay, so we don't need that. We don't need those bells on. Sorry if you caught quite a lot of my midriff there. That's part of the course. You'll be seeing a lot more on that if you stay tuned. Right. Back to the questions. Johan saying VTC 5As, again, good batteries. You really need to look into it. You really need to research it. But the fact of the matter is, if you're using a reputable battery with a high continuous amp rating, then you'll be fine, unless you want to start going crazy low ohms. And at that point, you really need to learn all of battery safety. So there we go. All right. So questions. Will you be getting any of the regular... Leon T81 says, will you be getting any of the Regulated squonkers in for review. They are coming soon. iJoy, Capo, Sigeli, Vagina, etc. I am going to be getting the iJoy one. I'm going to be getting the iJoy one, I believe. It's famous last words, because some things just never turn up. You know, Mark Todd, the glorious Hall of Fame Mark Todd, legendary status, is in chat, and he will confirm some things just never come. So it's very dangerous to talk about things that haven't arrived yet. But I'm supposed to be getting the iJoy Squonker. I'm hoping to get the Org Vape Squonker as well. I know proper reviewers have already got that, but I'm hoping to get it at some point. So yes, I'm hoping to get some. The Sigeli one, Sigeli, the thing is, right, this might sound a bit weird, but I don't contact product manufacturers. I don't contact product manufacturers, so if I keep randomly giggling, that's because I'm reading chat. I don't contact them, and Sigeli are one of those companies that don't contact you. So neither of us talk to each other, and so I've never had anything to do with Sigeli. So yeah, I'm hoping to get some loads, but there is loads. As everybody predicted, anyone with eyes could see, China was going to catch up on the squonking thing, and the next 4 months, it's going to be a squonker a week, in my opinion. So fun times ahead, fun times ahead. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Oh, someone asks, oh, Pete, are they ringing them louder now? I apologize. Pete Cars, Vic, do other GTA style tanks you've tried let you remove the deck when full? Oh, okay. Yeah, it depends though. Not when it's completely full of juice. It tends to be. It tends to need to be like a mil and a half empty. Once it's got to that point, if you wait long enough. But it is a flaw with that design. But the advantage with that design is you're so much closer to the coils, so the flavor can be excellent with those things. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the thing. Oh, Johan reminding everyone to thumbs up the vid. I mean, that would be cool. That would be nice. But completely not essential. And if you wished this wasn't live, if you're watching it back later or anything like that, and you wished it hadn't been live, thumbs down. Hit thumbs down so I know for next time. Very good, very good. Can I also just officially apologise for crashing VTUK's time slot? I don't know if they're finished now or whether they're still going, but this was literally the only time I had to do this. I really wanted to do one live. Apologies. It's not going to be a regular thing. I won't be crashing your show every week. So there we go. I'm going to go back to questions from episode 2. Favorite RDA of all time from Terry. Favorite RDA of all time? 2. I've got 2 favorite RDAs of all time, and they're still my favorite now. And it's going to take a lot for them to ever be. It's going to take so much for them to ever be knocked off the spot. The Velocity V2. Velocity V2. This is, check, it's a bit nerdy, this. Look at that. It's ready to go. It's all coiled up, cottoned up, ready to go for Expo. I'm not putting any juice in that until I get to Expo, which is this weekend, if you remember, and I will be there. Velocity V2. The Dex was revolutionary. I really like the airflow. I wish it didn't have those little holes on, but nothing's perfect in this world. Beautiful. A beautiful RDA that I love. Great deck, etc. Build quality, everything. The other one, just looking for it now, this. The Goon V1. Just an absolutely incredible RDA. I mean, the 1.5 looks great, and that as well. You know, not saying anything, but yeah, no, the Goon V1 is legit. Yeah, Goon is ace, so that's the thing. Have we got any more questions in chat, or do I need to keep going back to this? Dominique Pelosi says, what would be your ideal holiday and where would it be? It would be to America, and then it would be taking in as much of America as humanly possible. I really want to go to Manhattan. I really want to go to LA, California, that sort of area. I'm not a super adventurous. I'm not a swimming down the Nile in a G-string guy or climbing Everest in a tutu guy. I just like holidays are meant to be relaxing, in my opinion, with some adventure and sightseeing thrown in. But so yeah, I've never been to America. I really want to go. And you could spend a year going around America and not see half of the stuff. But New York and California just look so amazing. Yeah, and everyone speaks English. It's $1 to £1, so that's easy to figure out in your head. So yeah, America looks ace. So that is where I want to go. Oh, okay. So Jack Rabbit Slim says, Vic, do you plan on meeting your American vape idol Mike Vapes working the Signature Tips booth? There's no beef between me and Mike, if that's what you're implying. However, you know, he's not my idol either. My idol's literally in chat right now. Cheesy AF. Yeah, I know. Yes, I'll go see Mike. And I believe Tony B is going to be there as well, and I'll go and see him if I can as well. Yeah, I'll try. Mind you, they'll be getting mobbed and stuff, won't they? For some reason, the UK vapors prefer American reviewers, and American vapors prefer American reviewers. I think it's just because they're better. I don't know. But yeah, so they'll be getting mobbed. But I might try and sneak a cuddle in. Right. Let me try and scroll up. I deliberately didn't put on the slow chat thing because I didn't think there'd be more than 10 people here. So I need you to talk fast. John Martin from the Ideal Ohm Show says, what would you order at Pizza Hut? John Martin's from the Ideal Ohm Show. That's on live as well. That's a live program that's on at 9 p.m. ish on Thursdays on YouTube. Not this Thursday, but every other Thursday ever. Yeah, so that's a good show. Check that out. The reason he asks about the Pizza Hut thing is because last time I went to Pizza Hut, I had scampi and salad. I had a scampi salad. But I mean, in a normal world, I just wasn't hungry because I'd had a burger for lunch. In a normal situation, I'd have a pizza. And I wouldn't know what was on it. I don't know. What's a good pizza? Americana? I don't know. I should start throwing questions to chat because there seems to be a lot of debate as to what is in scampi. I have no idea. Dale Walker says, as a vape famous Omi, we'll cruise past that statement. Have you ever been stopped in a random place, restaurant, supermarket, etc.? Yes, I've been stopped in my local Morrison's, and you know what? I was really rude. It caught me completely off guard because I didn't know if he knew me because that's where I live or because of YouTube. It wasn't clear initially. And if that person is watching now, I'm sure they unsubscribed the moment they met me. If that person is watching now, I'm so sorry. I was really taken aback and rude. And then I was with Molly at the supermarket and she just legged it into the supermarket. And so obviously, you know, I had to chase after her. So I kind of wrapped it up really rudely, really fast and ran after Molly. And yeah, so that wasn't good. It's happened a couple of times. Yeah, but what can you do? So Sir Vaping a lot is in the chat as well. Hiya, mate. Check out his YouTube. Not now. You're busy now, but check out his YouTube channel at some point. That's the thing. Darko says, which reviewer channels are you subscribed to? Okay, I'm subscribed to Todd's ecig Reviews, Dean the Vaping Biker, Mike Vapes, Vaping Heathen, Vapor Trail channel. It's different for me because these people aren't necessarily people that I think are great or good, or the Vaping Postman, I'm subscribed to him. They're not necessarily people that I think are great or amazing or I love watching, but I think it's quite important for me to keep my ear to the ground. You know, I need to see what's coming in, what it looks like, you know, all that stuff. So that's a thing. John Martin says, if you could travel back to any event in your past, when would it be and why? Event, as in event. I know the question is from. I think the bell ringing stopped, but you don't want to see my midriff again. I'll figure it out. The reason he's asking is because it's a question that was asked on the Ricky Gervais show, which is a really good podcast that I like. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go back to any event ever. Definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, maybe. No, I don't want to go back to any event. Definitely not. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good to this point. Right. Next thing. Oh, someone asked me. Let me just pull this up as well. Okay. Oh, okay. Sinistral asked on Q&A #1 2 questions. Number 1, in your opinion, what is the one area that needs the most improvement in vaping? Mods, ATIs, batteries, why? I mean, battery. I mean, if they could improve battery technology, that would be amazing. I know there's things in the pipeline, but I don't know how. You're talking years before it filters down into vaping. Oh, I'm not doing the next one, mate. Just read the next one. I'm not doing that. No, that's nothing. Oh, okay, this one. UK Vapesters says, do you have any tips for new reviewers? Yes, don't bother. Tips for new reviewers. Right, okay, first of all, I'm going to caveat this with in terms of tips for how to be popular, I don't know any. I'm not. I've been doing this for years, and I'm literally just sailing along at my own speed. I've never had a surge in subscribers. I've never had a surge in views. It's just a merry tick along, and that's because I'm. There's a lot of reasons for that, but the main reason is I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not good at this. So because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to have a breakout video. You know, every 20 videos, one would stand out and it would do really well, and everyone that watched it would subscribe, and you'd have a surge in subscribers. You'd have a lucky month, a good month, and it would build and build. I've never had that. Nothing's ever done that. So I've just sort of ticked along. So in terms of how to be a successful one, you're going to have to look elsewhere. There are some great examples out there. Try and analyze what they've done to get so well. You know, whether it's a shout out or a particular live vlog thing or anything. I don't know. In terms of tips for your actual sanity as a reviewer, I would strongly advise picking the element in vaping that you love and concentrating on that. I think another problem with this channel is it's far too broad. You know, 1 minute I'm reviewing, I don't know, this. 1 minute I'm reviewing this, which is like a high-end squonker, and the next minute I'm reviewing things like this. You know, the Jack Vapor 22. I've got the Resurrection V2 from ePhoenix as well, very expensive dripper to review. And then the next minute, some absolute tut. I'm reviewing some absolute tut. And I think it confuses people. And like, if I asked you in chat now what my vaping style was, I don't even know if you would know. And so I'm not conveying well enough a type of vapor that I am. And so I would say what I would do if I was, that would be my advice. It would be really focusing on what you want to specialize in, what you are good at, and what you personally love. Because if you love it, it'll be more enjoyable, there'll be more longevity, and people will zone into you. Oh, that guy, he's a squonker, he likes squonkers, he mainly does squonkers. I'm going to be all about that. That would be my thing. The other thing would be my other advice, again, for longevity. This is going to sound stupid for where you're at now, but a couple of years down the line, you'll see why I said it. The other thing I would say is getting to really enjoy and try and get into the actual hobby of YouTube, video production, audio, video editing. Make that an additional hobby alongside the vaping, because that really adds longevity to it. If you're just reviewing gear in the exact same way each time, you're not trying to improve your videos, you're not buying new equipment, you're just plodding along, same. You'll get, I promise you'll get sick of reviewing. You'll get bored of it. It gets very tedious when you're reviewing the 60th, 70th sub-tank of your career. You trust me, it'll be a bit boring. But if on that 60th sub-tank review you're trying a new lens, you're trying a new piece of software, you're doing this, you're doing that, it's exciting and it's interesting, and that would be my advice. Is that good advice? I don't know if that's good advice. And remember, you're looking at the slowest growing vaping channel on YouTube, so I can't help you with how to have a bigger channel and stuff. Okay. Jack Rabbit Slim, sorry if I'm missing questions. If you want to repeat them or put them in capitals, I'm cool with that. Vic, did you ever watch the Nigel Benn versus Gerald McClellan WBC super middleweight title, UK versus USA epic fight? It was brutal. Yes, I've seen that. Nigel, but I mean, if you're gonna watch like fights, historic fights, and you're gonna follow someone sort of, what I've tended to do with the boxers that were before my time is I've watched them in chronological order, sort of like analyzing the fights. If you're going to do that, Nigel Benn is one of the best people to do that for, because he was in super fights for like a 4-year period. He was in super fight, incredible. And it was what they call now a fan-friendly style. So he was he was great to watch. So that's the thing. Inkatata says, don't know why anyone would want to be a reviewer. It looks a lot of work. Yeah, it is, but I'm not here to discourage anyone from doing it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it again if I had my time again. I know that's the worst thing ever to say on a thing like this, but I wouldn't start again. More drama. Darren says more drama. You're in the wrong place. Darko says, "Are you a soccer fan?" I am. But it's a touchy subject because I'm a Leeds United fan, and we're rubbish now. And it used to be so good, and yeah, now it's not. Yeah, I follow it. I still follow it, and still watch Match of the Day. I like to watch Match of the Day too. It's more condensed. But yeah, I still follow football. I still like it. I played football for years. I've literally just retired. This season. This is my first season not playing. Yeah, I love playing. I'm okay with watching it, but I don't really have 90 minutes free in my life. So I don't watch it that much. Bye, Vinny. Oh, okay. Dave Apes says, "What music do you like?" I don't really like music. Okay. My three favorite bands are Blink-182. I don't think they're very good. I just think they're from my era. They're from my past. I associate with that time, you know, and listening to that music. And now I still enjoy it and still listen to it because it was of my era. I like the Ordinary Boys. You probably haven't heard of them. They did 2 amazing albums. Then the lead singer went on Celebrity Big Brother, ruined his career, and they did a rubbish third album, which officially canned it. But the first 2 albums, Ordinary Boys, were amazing. I really liked them anyway. Third, Oasis, standard. child of the early 90s. Oasis, all day. So that's... Jay Jarry says, what do you like to watch on YouTube other than vaping? Oh, okay. This comes back to what I was saying before about you need to turn the video making and production editing into a hobby alongside your vaping. I really like following the camera experts, camera vloggers, people like that. So you've got Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, those kind of guys. I don't like all of Casey's stuff. It's very vloggy, but sometimes he does really, really interesting tech videos and just insight into filmmaking and all that sort of stuff. Peter McKinnon, he's like an amazing videographer, photographer, and you sort of learn a little bit from every single video he does, and they're all so beautifully shot as well. So I like watching those. And then other ones I like DSLR help videos and all that sort of stuff. And then editing stuff, and yeah. So the other side is the only other thing. Oh, I should say, and also watch boxing interviews, boxing press conferences, and all that sort of crap. Oh, okay. Yes, I will be watching Californication on Netflix. Yeah, I agree. I agree with the Vaping Postman. 1 minute you can be watching, yeah, and if you go down the wrong path, you can end up on some horrific things. Yeah, and YouTube remembers that you watched it as well, so it'll offer you similar things. Mark Todd had some good advice for upcoming vape reviewer. Avoid drama and be yourself. Go away. Oh. Cat's just popped in. What's his third sachet of food of the evening? Okay. Okay, good. Right, I'm going back to the serious questions asked in the previous thing. Oh, Mark Elliott says, I asked this the other day, if you could sit in a room with one other vape reviewer and ask them a question, who and what would the question be? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't need to ask vape reviewers questions. I don't know. I would love to have a one-to-one pint with Nick Grimgreen. Everyone else I've already had a pint with, so I'm good. I think I've had a good. I think that's all good. What else? What is your favorite? Lucho Mahano. I don't know how to pronounce your surname, Lucho. I apologize. What is your favorite brand of mod? Looking around, I don't know. Maybe all the amazing mod makers to one side. UK mod makers, small time mod makers to one side, because a brand, not really a brand, are they? I guess. I think it'd be the Hexohm Craving Vapor. Make the Hexohm probably my favorite. You know, if ever they are going to release something, I'll be looking at it. All the other guys, they have all the other guys, all the mainstream guys, they have hits and misses, don't they? So it's hard to sort of single one out as better than the other. You know, Iniken have had an amazing mod and a rubbish mod. They've had Joytech have had an amazing mod and a rubbish mod. iJoy, same, everyone. So I guess, yeah, I really like the Hexohm, so I'll say Craven Vapor. Actually, no, I haven't ever bought you a pint, Mark, but I owe you one, so that's as good as. Darren Appleby says, Badger or Baboon, show you're working. I've never seen a badger alive. Mind you, I've never seen a baboon alive. Oh yeah, we'll have at the zoo. A baboon all day long, no brainer. I was never very good at showing my working at school. A baboon because they're more dexterous. They'd win in a fight with a badger. They rip it to bits. They can be vicious. I think as long as there's some sort of safety features here. If it was as a pet, I wouldn't want either. A badger can give you a nasty nip, but yeah, I think that's okay. I think, well, let's just say baboon. Yes, baboon, Darren. Sure. This is weird though, isn't it? This live thing is weird in this format without other people to talk to. Space, just you guys in here. Have we got any more questions? Pete saying he listened to the podcast in the bath. That's disturbing. Thanks to Mark for confirming my sexuality. I don't think a honey badger would be. I know a honey badger are way more vicious than a normal badger, but you just said badger. I still think a baboon would beat. I still think a baboon would beat a honey badger. I know they're way more vicious, but that's, yeah. Paul McCartney from Vito Smoke. Hi, mate. He says, what's your favourite brew dog? I think it's the new one. I think it's Slot Machine. They do a stout one as well, which is good. I've forgotten what that one's called. Punk IPA is all right. It's what it is. I really like that new one, Slot Machine. It's a rye one. And then they do a stouty one, a portery stouty one that's solid. It's solid, you know. I've had better, but it's all right. Dave Ape says, did you get detention at school? If so, what was it for? We're not super vape related here, are we? What did I get a detention at school for? I asked in RE. We'd just done Hinduism, and we're moving on to Buddhism. I said it might be more. I made some sly, stupid, childish comment about it'd be quite handy at some point if we covered a bit of Christianity, as it's the native religion, and I haven't got a Scooby-Doo why people still follow that. And I got detention for that. What else? Just really sarcasm, really sarky stuff. I got. There was a history teacher from Lancashire, exotic Lancashire, and obviously I was in Yorkshire, and if he ever asked me a question, I would just immediately reply, "I don't rightly know," and anytime he asked me a question, I always said that. Anytime I said that, I was sent out, and that happened once a week for like an entire year. And he made it a thing, not me. He made it a thing. Don't ask me a question. That solves that problem. And is it that bad? That, you know, if he could have just. And I'm usually, because it was history, I didn't know. So there we go. A Wolverine would kick a badger's ass. Yeah, I think we're digressing. All right. See you later. See you later, Paul. Dun, dun, dun. Sharon Appleby got lost on YouTube and ended up subscribing to a canal boat vlog. I bet that's ace. BBC 4 used to do a show where it was just literally a webcam stuck on the end of a barge. Cool. Right, 10 more minutes. Can't believe the kids haven't woken up. I can't believe we're totally blagging this. We're winging it all the way through. Keith M. This is from Vaping Q&A #1. Keith M says, vape drama, good or bad? I think it's good for growing your channel if you want to go down that route. I think things like that really resonate on YouTube. People are talking about you, people go check you out, people subscribe. You know, you can grow a channel with drama really well, I think. However, the danger with that, a bit like giveaways, if you grow a channel on giveaways, people might only be there for the drama, only there for the giveaway. And then, you know, you'll find yourself down the line either having to pander to those things, you know, or doing things that half of your subscriber base isn't interested in because they're only after this. And so that's a problem. I think also, the community's too small to I only really did this because none of my friends smoked, so therefore none of them vaped. And so I had no one to talk about this, and so I got into forums, and I got into YouTube, and then I fancied a go at it, and it was mainly in an attempt to make friends. And so if you're going to upset people and things along the way of the drama thing, what are you going to be left with? You're going to be left with a channel. You're putting videos up, but you've got no actual friends. I don't know. So yeah, it can be good. So the answer to that question is can be good, but has its drawbacks. I would imagine. Yeah, I just want to do, you know, concise little video. The vape reviews that I like are the really concise ones. Not really ridiculously concise, but to the point a bit. So I like the fairly concise ones, and that's why I do the fairly concise ones. And I just want to know about this thing. I don't want to know about what he said or she said, or I don't know. But at the same time, I totally get why people enjoy a bit of drama. I get it. You know, there's Coronation. How long's Coronation Street been running? What would that be like if they all got on? Dave Apes from Q&A #2 says, how are you going to celebrate 10,000 subscribers? I don't know. If I ever get there. There's this site where it tells you your prediction of when you'll hit milestones. And I think mine is like end of next year. I only get like 4 or 5 to 10 subscribers a day. So if you think 300 subscribers in that form, it's going to take way beyond Christmas to get anywhere near it. So I'll think about it closer to the time. So yeah, that's the thing. Right, I'm going to try and open this window without revealing myself. I think I got away with it that time. There we go. What else do you need to know? Okay, Sinistral says you have a couple of top UK made mods. Other than the ones you have, who would you like to make a mod for you? Okay, so yeah, so I do have some amazing ones already. I have the Dacus abstract mods on Facebook. Check him out. Mike Dacus is your man. He made this beautiful thing. So that's a thing. I've got my tripophobic mod here from Bob. Bradley made this, so check out Trypophobic. There, that's an amazing mod as well. I've got my signature mods that I really like, SQ, and I've got this, the SBVF from Nigel Moxon SVB mods. So I'm very happy and very content. The mods that I'm kind of I've got my eye on having a sniff at are I really like the look of, well, yeah, I do quite fancy getting hold of a runt mod. I think they look cool. I think they look really well put together. I've got a good following. They seem legit. So yeah, I'm going to try and get a runt mod. Which other ones? Oh, so there's a guy called Ostrix, and he does one called the Half, and it's like an amazing thing that goes like that. It literally splits in half, and it just, the design just is unbelievable. It's gorgeous, and so I'm going to try and get a half at some point. And what was the other one? There's another one I've got my eye on. Oh, and Limelight Freehand is another one as well. Just Google these at a later date if you want to know more about them. Obviously, it's live, so I can't put pictures up and stuff. But yeah, so Limelight Freehand is another huge, awesome squonker thing that I really like to look up. I've always liked Limelights. They used to do one called the Pylon, which is so beautiful. I've always wanted one of those, but now they're doing a squonker one. Might be easier to get. So yes, so that's a thing. That's a thing. May is asking about May Fox is asking about getting other people in on this. I have thought about that actually. Yes, I might. You know, I would love to get. I think it would be easier to do with more people. The only thing is, I kind of do that anyway on a Thursday, 9 p.m. ish on the YouTubes on the Ideal Home Show. So I mean, that's kind of what that is. So check that out. But yeah, a Q&A with someone else who knew the answers to the questions would be really helpful. Really helpful. Good. I don't know what I'm doing now. Right. Any last question? Any last question? I'm going to wrap it up in like 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, okay. Inkitatus, I don't want to start shouting out loads of vendors. I don't want to start shouting out loads of. There are some really good ones on the continent, though. Intaste.de. So Inky said, he said, where's a good place to get the higher end stuff? So there's a place called Intaste. I think it's based in Germany. They get a lot of really top stuff really quick. What's the one where ePhoenix is always at? Let's see if I can just very quickly find it. I don't know. Message me privately, mate, and I'll get you some links. There's some really good French and German websites. The Vaping Possum says favorite RTA of all time. Right now, it's the it's this. Is this the right one? Yes, it's this one. Right now, it's the Hurricane Junior. The Hurricane Junior from ePhoenix is my favorite RTA of all time. But obviously, that's because of my sort of wattage range. You know, I like that 35 to 60 area, and that is perfect for that. Obviously, Hurricane V2 is just as good as the Junior, but more expensive, so it's a thing. Other ones I like, I really like the Squape E. Yeah, and on the lower end side, I really like this actually, the new Boreas V2. I'm really enjoying that at the moment, but that the novelty of that might wear off. It does over time sometimes with RTAs. Oh, I really like this, the Conqueror from Otofo. That's a great one. Use that a lot. I like the RBA deck in the Clito, if Mark Todd's still watching. Oh, Mark Todd says Intaste do not ship to the UK probably because of the TPD stuff. But there are some good, really good. What's the Le Petit Voyeur one, Mark? What's that one? The French one. They get some high-end stuff quite quickly. Bubbly Blindy, hello. Why do I not have a beard? Ed says. What was I talking about before that? Oh, affordable RTAs that I like. Oh, I really like the Elfie. I really like the Elfie RTA. And yesterday I got the new Coilmaster RTA. That's a thing. I think it's called the Ray. I'm going to be playing with that later on. So yeah, it's the Coilmaster Elfie's very good. The Serpent Alto's very good as well. I like RTAs. Le Petit Vapeur. That's right. The Elfie's great. The Elfie's great. People agreeing with the Elfie. Vap Store, Mark says as well. There's some great ones. There's this search engine. If you go to www.google.com and you put in what you're looking for, comes up with loads of links. Yeah, the Elfie's great, Darko. It is. It really is. Okay. There's no great way to wrap this up, and I don't actually know how to wrap this up. So let's have a look. See. I bet if I go to here. Okay, yeah, I found the button to stop the broadcast. Is there anything else? Anything is anything that's going to make you really cross if I don't tell you about? Bubbly Blindy says, have you ever used a caster by Fog Monsters? No, I haven't. And that will be the end of that. So yeah, okay, let me know how this went. Number 4, #4 will be not live. And then I'll look at how 4 does, I'll look at how 3 does, I'll look at the general feedback, and then we'll see how we're going. I like the idea of just doing randomly, sometimes live, sometimes not live. But we'll see. It's a thing. Let me know what you think of this in the comments or whatever. I don't know. Find a way to tell me whether this was rubbish or good or what. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. We'll take stock. We'll take a step back and we'll blue sky it. I'm off now before I say something. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out. That's a lovely new sign off for me. Right, I've got to press that button.